Okay, today we're looking at the installation of the Spooky UV apron lighting and the UV backboard lighting. Whether you're installing one or both, this will cover that install. So the UV backboard lighting comes in this little bag, and it's just an add-on to the apron lighting. And what that will include is one power cord, looks like this, and the actual lighting itself, along with some mounting squares and zip ties. The main kit comes in this larger bag. It has the two UV lighting strips that go on the apron, and those have adhesive tape on the back and come with a power plug. And then we'll also include a very similar power wire, which has a black end and a red end, just like the other. This is much longer. Some zip ties, some mounting squares, and then this is the Spooky power key, which will go onto the power board and split the power into these two plugs here. That will be used for the power for these two lighting installs. Let's look at the game. Okay, so you've pulled your playfield out, class is off, game is off, and you'll have two screws at the bottom of the apron here that you'll need to remove. Yours will have a nut on the back of them. Mine I've modified to just use the screw, but behind this screw here there'll be a nut that you'll need to hold on to with some pliers or a wrench or something, and then you can remove those two screws, and then the apron will slide forward and you can prop it up. So here's what it looks like from the front of the apron once the UV strips are installed. You see you just remove the adhesive backing on each one and apply them right to the top of the apron, just centering them on either side. Need to pay attention to which one goes on which side, and we'll talk about that now. So with the apron propped up, you can see now that the UV lighting strip that goes on the right side of the game has the longer power lead attached to it. They both come to a point and splice together, but one side has a longer extension on it than the other, and that needs to go on the right side. You'll see that the power cords come over here to the left side and are spliced together there, and the left side has a very short lead on it. And then you're just going to run that cord around the backboard here, behind the trough and you're going to plug in the rest of the extension for the power lead and use those mounting tabs to adhere it to the top of the playfield, and you can do that behind the trough here and just keep the wire out of the way of all the mechanisms. Just run it under the playfield, and you're going to go across the playfield following the bundle of wires and in front of the flipper coils, and then down the right side of the playfield and exit out the back. And we'll take a look at that as well. So here's with the playfield propped up. You can see up here at the top the wires coming out the left side of the playfield, and just following the other bundles of wire down the playfield, preferably on the right side, but whatever path you want to take. And you're just going to go out the back right. There will be a few bundles of wire coming off the playfield that go down in the same direction. You can choose one of the ones over here on the right side and just follow those down, use some zip ties to hold it in place, and we'll just point it towards the back right corner where the power board is. So now tipping the playfield back down, here's the power board in the back right corner, and you're going to have your wires coming along the side here with that other bundle of wires. And we're going to use those 6 plugs that are right in the middle of the board. Those are the 6 that carry both 12 volt and 5 volt. The 3 that are at the top of the screen, which actually has 2 plugs in it and 1 blank spot, those only carry 5 volt. So you want to use the 6 that are at the sort of center of the screen right now. And I would suggest the top right one in this image. So here's the power key installed. You see I pulled the top right of those 6 plugs out of the power board, plugged it into the power key, and then the power key gets plugged back into the board. Facing this direction, there's enough room to do all of this, and then those 2 jacks at the top of the power key are left available for the two plugs from the backboard and the trough lighting, or the backboard and the apron UV lighting to plug right into there. And looking at the backboard strip of lighting, it has an adhesive backing to pull off as well, and then you're just going to adhere it to the underside of this black channel in the back here that holds the glass. You can probably clean that with some alcohol first. Also, the apron could be cleaned with some alcohol as well to give it the best adhesion. And then the power cord that goes with the backboard lighting will get plugged in as well, and just run it down the back corner of the cabinet, and you'll plug it into the power key as well. Both of these will plug into the power key, and then you'll be able to turn on the game, test it out. It should light up as soon as everything in the game gets power, and you'll be set. You can button the game back up.